Hello, I'm Raleigh Ritchie. I'm Raleigh Ritchie. I am Raleigh Ritchie.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Raleigh Ritchie Radio. This week, we kind of have a special episode tied in with Raleigh Ritchie or Jacob Anderson's birthday,
Yes.
which is on June 18th. So it's coming up soon. We also have had like a ton of new kind of spoiler things for Raleigh Ritchie 3. So instead of kind of we're interrupting our regular scheduled breakdown of You're a Man Now Boy. We've done that quite frequently. We keep
We
interrupting.
have.
So
We have.
we'll
It's
get
not
through
our
it
fault.
eventually. It's
Yeah,
not
it's
our
not.
fault, it's his
It's not our
fault.
fault. Yeah, it's
And I'm happy about it.
yeah,
Um,
same.
so we're gonna kind of pause that and talk about some of the new stuff that we've gotten, and then just kind of do like a little Q&A. We've asked questions on Twitter and had fans interact too, and just kind of spend some time like celebrating, I guess, Raleigh Ritchie's music career, him as a person, and all these kind of fun things related to that. So that's the plan today. Um, yeah, but to start, it was kind of like he was in the studio for maybe like a week or so, at least from what we've seen,
Yeah. Yeah.
working on the album. We had at first Sam Skuro, who works with Jacob on a lot of his albums, had posted a teaser photo, and we were like, "Is that Raleigh Ritchie?"
Yeah.
Like, kind of far away.
We knew, yeah. No one knew. We did well, we knew. I feel like we knew, but we didn't. It wasn't confirmed. We didn't know.
Right. We didn't want to get like our hopes up, so we were like,
Yes.
"Wait." And then I think maybe Chris or someone else then posted a
Yeah.
photo of him. It was like definitely him. I think
Mhm.
in the studio we had one photo of, it was so much, I'm trying to remember it all, but there's
I
one of
know.
like in a recording booth. There was a short video. There was
Yeah.
him with trumpets playing. We heard him in the background kind of
Yep.
singing. We'll touch on that later. Then there was a photo Chris posted, had like a film camera, it looked like, of Jacob kind of lost in the music, deep in thought, it looked like. So lots of different and then of course Raleigh Ritchie himself posted an Instagram
Right?
story
Yeah.
jamming out. And then kind of the final bit at the end of the week was what looked like, I don't know how this works, but it looked like what would be like a file in like
Yeah.
a case, and it had RR3 question mark, I
Yeah.
would say, under a house.
Yeah, yes, the house. It looked like a
Yeah.
cassette, low-key a cassette, but I don't know, like maybe it's on, I don't know. Maybe that's how they do it.
See, I
Yeah.
kind of figured it was like maybe like a bigger
Oh,
file. Like I
ah,
yeah, like kind of like a megabyte file, like a USB, but like a bigger one,
yeah,
like plug into
maybe so.
something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Again,
But the
I don't
house,
know how it works either, so could be
yeah.
completely wrong, but
You know, I don't think we're ever gonna know if we're being honest.
right.
But
Um,
the house,
yeah. Well,
he
let's
painted.
the trumpets too was very fun.
Yes.
The sound of it was Silky Sounds had posted a video, so yeah, I was trying to look. I'm on my Insta now. The horns, I think some people were kind of like, ooh, is this like New Orleans inspired? Thinking of
Yeah.
Interview with the Vampire, Louis. But I think it's important to note that he's worked with horns in the
Yeah,
past.
it's
He
just,
has it on
yeah.
Andy. These both of these performers were at the Two Nights Lonely
Mm-hmm.
shows. So although I do think it's exciting because it does seem like a different kind of sound, it's not
Yeah,
like regular. You can
yeah.
hear the presence of it on past tracks. So
Yeah. No,
yeah.
it sounds more like jazz, like swing. It doesn't seem like, I don't know. It's just, it is a different sound, but I don't know what the sound is.
Mhm.
But it seems quite upbeat,
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah.
It's giving more "You're a Man Now" boy than Andy at the minute. We've
Mhm.
heard at least 1 second of something.
Right. Well,
But
and
then,
I think
yeah,
Jacob's in the back kind of going like, it sounds like run, 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 or row, row, row,
yeah,
some R word,
yes,
which could just be like the beat.
yeah,
It
yeah,
might not
yeah.
be actual lyrics. It could just be for like tracking, um,
Mm.
or like a vocal thing, which I'm always like, does he do vocal warm-ups? I'm just so intrigued by him as like a
Yeah, I
musician.
wonder what he does.
Yeah.
We'll have to ask
I
him
know in
one
the
day.
past he's talked about before when he goes on live shows because he's very active and he was like, I wouldn't
Mm.
do anything to prepare. And then I would get like crazy, like Charlie horses and like physically be unable to move after. And it's like, oh. Yeah, so that was cool. Cool to kind of see though that like that part of the process. I know we've talked a lot
Mm.
about his strings. He uses a lot of
Yeah.
strings. We haven't seen
I was
Rosie
about to say,
and her
we haven't
crew
seen
yet. That
that.
doesn't mean they're not there. Just
No,
means we haven't
no.
seen them.
Yeah. I'm surprised we haven't seen her actually, like seen the strings there. But because he's like so that's what he loves in it. Like he loves, I don't know, like soundtracks. And I feel like that's like soundtrack, isn't it? Like really, but yeah, maybe they might add it on a different track, like later on down the line when they've like re-listened to it. Who knows? Or it could
Yeah.
literally be finalized. I don't know.
Yeah. And it's I think like his live shows, it's such a production, like right? Like he
Yeah.
uses a lot of these instruments and it's like like an orchestra
Yeah.
almost what he does, especially for his live
Hmm.
performances, like live from the O2 as well. And I think it's like I love those versions of his songs and it does sort of feel like that's really bleeding into this production. And I'm sure like maybe that's how all of it is, you know,
Mm.
but it feels like they have such a presence in his music live that I hope, like, I think it's fun to see that maybe manifesting itself in the album now, instead of just, like
Yeah.
being sounds, like a garage band or whatever. Like it's
Yeah.
really
No,
having a
yeah.
live instrumental happening.
I like how like everybody on the stage shines. Like you're not just watching him, which obviously I know we're that there for him, but like I feel like you're watching it and it's this whole picture that is created, and it's just every part of it. It's just like like it's just created this masterpiece, and I think it's just that's how he likes to do it. I think he's quite visual, isn't he? So it's like that's what he's creating. Every little bit of everyone there is important to the song. It's not just him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah. Yeah, and he's, has like so much knowledge about music too and love of music. And I think
yeah.
that's where a lot of it blends into too, I think we kind of like it's easy to think like to forget, especially lately. I think a lot of new fans have been introduced to him because of his acting. So I think it could
Mhm.
be easy to be like, oh, it's like a hobby, but it's like, no, he started in music. It was really
Yeah.
a big part of him, and he's very musically inclined. Like it's not just something he's doing. I think he's good at anything he puts his mind to.
Yeah.
Like I think he can't fail at
Yeah.
anything, and he's a very talented musician. Not only like a lyricist, which is always something that stands out, but really like
Yeah.
the composition of the
Everything.
songs, like knowing which instrument to use, like
Mhm.
knowing like the level of like
Yeah.
intensity, I guess, that it belongs into a song. And I think that shows with like I think it when we get to Andy, we could talk about it more, but I think when he did like an interview for maybe like Complex, but it was him and Chris and Rosie Danvers, who does his strings usually, and Chris Loco, who's like a frequent producer, collaborator with him. I think they were talking about like he kept being like, yeah, more strings, and Rosie was like,
Yeah.
really? Like this is he really entrusted them with a lot. And
Mm.
that's really fun too. I think there's even like a video of them working on it, maybe a different song, and seeing how he bounces off of their musical input too. Like it's very much a team, very much a collaboration
Yeah.
happening. And I think that comes from someone who, yeah, loves music and
Yeah.
loves all aspects of the production. Not just, writing and singing, but really like is a
Mhm.
talented all around. So I think that's really cool. But then we did have the house, which,
Yeah.
I had theorized when he used that emoji. You were
You did.
doubtful. I'm calling you
I
out.
was. I
And
think I was.
I
I'm not
think
gonna
twice
lie.
is not a coincidence, I
No,
think
you're so right.
if you aren't familiar, they posted a photo with what it looked like the file, and on the paper, it was a roof with a little chimney,
Yeah.
RR3 question mark, two lines under RR3. It looks like a house. So
Yeah.
uh, it seems like that's something. It seems like that's a
Yeah.
thematic element. Maybe that's like the concept of the album. I don't know. I mean, do you
Mhm.
have any thoughts or ideas about this?
No, like my head's empty, low key, but it must be something to do with like the name of the album, surely. Like, I mean, it might not even have the name of the album actually. Like, who knows? I don't know if I'm being honest. But initially, I thought it is to do with the name of his album. That's all I can. That's literally all I can think of. Because it's such a like. Obviously, he used the emoji with us, didn't he? Like when he tweeted us. But it's like,
So cool. By the way, I love that we were like a part of that in a very minor way. I love that he kind of gave us the spoiler. Very cute.
yeah. Literally, thank you.
Very, very sweet, very fun.
But yeah, no, I don't. All I can think is the album cover, like the album cover, the album name. What
Yeah.
do you think? What are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm kind of like you where I mean, my big thing is I feel like we've talked about this before. All of his music is like this growing up concept, right? Like
Hmm.
becoming a man. I think even Andy is such a personal album, kind of reflective. So like to me, when I see like a house, I think of like home, like maybe childhood, like going
Cornfield.
home. But I feel like that's a concept he's already explored. That doesn't
Yeah,
end mean he's
yeah.
going to continue exploring it, right? Like that's you never
Mm,
run out of things to say. I do kind of like the idea of, like now he's this, like he has children, he has a wife, like like maybe like
mm,
the idea of like what a new home is, a new family
yeah,
is, like you're entering a kind of a new era in your life in that sense. Like you're now like the father, I guess, instead of the child, the
yeah.
parent. And like building a house like in that sense. So maybe it could be like originally I was thinking it's like, you're like if each room in a house was like an era of your life, like how like your childhood, your teenage years, your 20s, where you are now.
Mm,
But I just feel like that's sort of done before.
yeah.
Again, I do think there's more to say with it. So I could see it maybe being just like now that now that I have my home, this is where I'm at. Like what is music to me now? But I could
Yeah.
also maybe see it being like a return to his origins in terms of like Bristol, like kind of what is
True.
that influenced him from there, like not London being his home, but the home of his childhood, so
Mm,
like where he started making music, and it has a very unique that the city I think has a unique musical history, like my
yeah.
understanding of it.
Mm,
So maybe some influences there, but I do kind of think. I think with him, like everything is so intentional that I think it would
yes.
be embedded in all of it, especially if it seems like he posted that emoji before they went back and worked on this music, right? So like it feels like
Mm,
it's been something that's been a part of the process
yeah.
from the beginning, not something that he's like coming up with now.
Mm,
So that's why I'm like I do feel like it must be like the work must be influenced by it to some degree, maybe not.
mm,
Um, but then I do think, yeah, like what you said, like album name, maybe just like the artwork, something about it. I think
yeah.
there's something. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's
I do
cool.
like,
I
yeah, I
love the
like what you
idea.
said. Yeah, I love what you said. I do agree with that. And it could be like different perceptions he's had of home throughout his
Yeah,
life. 'Cause there's a lot of different, like, obviously, like, you live in your house when you were younger, then you probably like moved to a different place, then you've moved there, and then now you're in this home. Or like someone could feel like home. Or,
yeah, someone. I
yeah, I
love
mean,
that.
yeah,
Yeah,
you never
people
know.
as a home. And also like he does travel a lot for work.
Yeah.
He lived in New Orleans. Like it could be like home, yeah, being people or different places that he's lived throughout his life and influences from music scenes around there. That would be very cool.
Oh, that could be it. Actually, wait, I like that. I like that because I'm pointed
Thank you.
because it could be that it's like these homes he's had. It could be like music influenced by where he's lit or
Yeah,
like
like a
being
Bristol sound, a
situated.
New Orleans sound, a London
Yeah,
sound, like an LA, like I don't know.
yeah.
Like, yeah.
Which like leads back to the trumpets being New
Mhm.
Orleans, and it's like maybe he's like just venturing out. Oh, I like
Okay.
that.
And it could be
Thank you.
nothing. We're just fans theorizing things.
So
We
true.
clearly
We'll,
wrong. But it's so crazy. It's so crazy. It's only his third album to me. I mean, that's
right. And all
yeah.
these songs he's got, like they're just wow. Is that?
Yeah.
Let's talk about it though, because we're acting like he's got with no songs to listen to. He's got a lot of songs,
Got a lot
and
of
it's
songs.
been
He has a
like
lot of EPs and
yeah,
singles that he's done. But it's
yeah,
still just like exciting the idea of
yeah,
new Raleigh Ritchie music. It's just exciting.
yeah,
I know we just got dead ends, but like new music from him as
yeah.
almost 35-year-old Jacob. It's just like and an album. Like I'm so excited.
Right. No, it is exciting. It is.
Yeah.
Oh,
Um, love it. So yeah, I think I will be excited to see. I still do think the photo he posted of like artwork is related to it. So
hmm.
definitely that. I'm not to be back on my bullshit, but excited for the merch. I love good merch. I love good themed merch.
Yep.
The
Me
house, I
too.
love it.
Yep.
be so cute. Kind of like if it is like global, it could be like a passport thing. Like there's so much he could do.
There's so much. Mom, I mean, I've got no money, but I'm ready to spend
I'm
it.
ready to spend.
I'm ready to spend. I am. Whatever, I'll find it from somewhere. We'll get it.
Yeah,
You know.
whatever we have to do.
No, but
Oh,
I am quite confused though, because you know the artwork. I know we spoke about it before,
yeah.
but like, how if it was to do with home, like how is that related to home? Other than
Yeah,
if it is like his daughter drawing something, I don't know.
I will literally cry right
I
now.
know you
If it's his daughter drawing something and the theme is like home,
Oh,
it's like your family. Like
that's cute, isn't it?
I want
Oh,
my dad to love me as much as that. Like, why'd my dad never write me an album and have me draw the artwork?
you're so right. We're never settling for a bare minimum ever again. Wow.
Like, okay. Also, girl dad, love it.
Yeah.
Dad tour was what he said. And I think that would be beautiful. I think it could be something like that. Or it could be like I know I said the sky before, so it could just be like really zoomed in and there's could still be a house. I don't
Yeah.
know.
You
I don't
know,
know. I just think the idea of home and family is so beautiful. Stop being the perfect person. Stop being the perfect
literally.
person. It's unfair
Have
to
some faults, please.
yeah. Can you do something wrong for once?
I don't actually think it's in his nature, but anyway.
I don't think so either. But I will literally just be like, you have to be joking. You cannot be
Yeah.
this good of a person. This is so
Literally.
unfair.
Wow, that would, wow. No. You know what? I'm not speaking that into existence because it's actually going to like melt. It's going to melt us all,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
it's gonna destroy us. Like, God, you're so perfect. It's funny. Yeah, but I think they were there for like kind of a few days, which I also like that this process of like creating an album. I don't know if this is, I don't think it's been the case past. I could be wrong, but with this one before in October-ish or
Mhm.
November-ish, and again now it seems like they like kind of go off somewhere, like you
Yeah.
went on a retreat, but it does seem like they kind of go someplace just them and like
Mm.
live like in a space and like just music is their whole focus, which I think is really
Mm.
cool. I just think it's a cool way to make an album that you're spending like time together in that sense, which I think is maybe like a thing some musicians do, but it's not just like, okay, clocking in and then I'm going home. Like it's really, you're really
Yeah.
focusing on something, which is cool. I don't know
No,
how
I
to
do that.
get that
Yeah.
out.
I do think it is like a retreat kind
Yeah,
of thing. Like just like what 2, 3 days away, and
yeah.
it's literally just like get up. We're either gonna. I don't. This is the thing that do they write it
I
or
think
are
it's
they?
like chill. Like it's just like inspiration
Yeah,
comes to you, like a writer's retreat. Like
yeah.
you're just there to make music and
But you just like
in a good
focus.
space. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
not
love
distracted with anything. But
yeah.
yeah, I think it's like I'm assuming that it's already written at that point, and he's got a sound in his head, or is it like I don't know, like
Yeah,
or
I mean
like
that's a good
yeah.
question. Like
I think,
what
what point are you at that point? Like
yeah.
where are you at?
Yeah,
Mm.
we were kind of wondering that too. I do feel like it kind of threw me off. I'm not gonna lie, because I thought I was like done.
Oh,
But now it does seem like it's done, right? So
yeah,
yeah, I would think that the music must have been written and they were kind of just doing like maybe it's just the final recordings.
yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't know. I genuinely do not know, but
It's in
I
someone's.
am sticking with my September release date,
Yeah,
writing
I
it in
agree. I
here.
do like that. I still like that. I do like that. I do.
Would still like a single to come sooner, but if they just finished it, I don't think that's gonna
No.
happen, unfortunately.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like. Well, I don't know when like Interview with the Vampire recording finishes. Is it like? Is that after September or?
The listing was like that was going around was like June to October actually, which is
I
interesting.
mean, yeah. You might not be there the whole time though, right? I don't know. I don't know how it works. I don't.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think that, like October could be like, there's so many intricacies to productions that it's like,
Yeah.
just because we have that, that doesn't mean like cast, like everyone's there. Like, like it's
Yeah.
not,
Yeah.
I mean, I
Yeah.
don't know, but
Because I
it,
would like him to be like,
promoting it.
yeah, I do
Yeah,
want promotion.
I
And I do
agree.
want him to be excited and seeing us be excited about what is released rather than just drop it and then not be able to see like what
Yeah.
people are saying about it. Which I don't think he overly cares about, but I do think he's like he does a bit. Like you can't not care about what people think about your art, can you? So like
Yeah, right. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think he likes to see how people respond to it.
Mm.
Yeah, I feel like when do you do promotion before the album drops? Is that how it works, or is it after?
It's a bit of both. I
That's what
feel
I was
like
gonna
you like,
say. Like, when do
yeah, I feel
people
like
like
you
go on
do,
talk shows and stuff? That's after, because this or the
yeah,
single's out, I guess, and then you promote the
yeah.
album.
Or you like do a bit before, only a bit before, but you do make like most of it afterwards, like where after people have listened to it, I guess. Yeah.
Got you. Got you. Interesting. Well, I
Yeah.
think it's coming out September 26th, so he's got to figure it out, and he
Yeah.
needs to be promoting it. So I don't care what he's got to do,
Literally, it's got.
but you got
We
to
kind of
figure
have
it out.
days. I don't know how many days that is, but it's that date. So.
Yeah, exactly. I don't care if you're filming something, you're gonna
Yep.
fly.
Yep. Mhm.
Um,
Yep.
yeah, I hope so. I just think so much later. It's that thing we said where it's not a good RR year then, it's a good RR 2 months, 1 month. So clock
That
it.
kind of, you left gagged. I know he's gagged.
I'm enemy number one to
You.
Raleigh Ritchie
Yeah, but in like a nice way. It's
in
in.
a nice way. Also, like a little selfish way.
Yeah.
We want the music.
You've got to be selfish sometimes,
Yeah.
and I get it. I'm
It's with
also
his
in that
best
camp.
interest in mind.
Yeah, exactly.
But we are almost through June, which means we're almost to his birthday. So we
Yeah.
asked some questions on Twitter for fans to interact with, but then also thought we could
Yeah.
answer them as
Yeah.
well. So, just for like a little celebration, the first one we asked was just very simple. What do you love about Raleigh Ritchie and his music? Um, Looking at some of the quotes, a lot of people talked about the lyricism of him,
Mhm.
which I think really stands out because it is so personal. His songwriting is so, he allows himself to be really vulnerable in it while still kind of keeping an air of mystery. So whatever the lyric is, you can still feel like relates to you in
Yep.
your life. I know in the past he's said that all of my favorite musicians are people who I feel are just saying how they feel and expressing themselves. And that's kind of the only way I really know how to do this. So really, like he's like, he said, I tend to throw down everything that I'm feeling and then sort of work it into a structure that makes sense as a song. I was watching a documentary and someone said, once you understand a song, it's no longer useful to you. I think that's really interesting because I feel like
Mm.
writing songs is about working out how you feel about something. And once you figure it out, it doesn't really matter anymore. It's then for other people to decide what it means to them. So I think that's really lovely. Like,
It
it
is.
is like he's using it as like a therapy, as like a journal, like
Yeah.
as to process something, but then again, it's something that anyone can relate to, and it seems
Mm.
like that's so that's the thing that motivates him to make music, right? Like this
Mm.
is why he's making it. So then to see people, all of these fans say that's what stands out to him, I think, it's like you've done it, you're doing it. Yes,
No, yeah, I do agree though, because it's like I always say he helps me say my feelings better than I can. But
mm,
it's like in my way. But I bet like if when you listen to a song, you interpret it in a way that is for you, which is obviously what you just said. But like
mhm.
that's yeah, well you've done it. You've done it, Riley Ritchie. You did it. Well done.
Yeah. Yeah,
You've done
Batty
it.
Man Music said, I love that his pen is genuine, it was really real, a genuine expression of his truth. And then in its specificity becomes universal and a balm for the listener. His willingness and need to put those feelings, however heavy or light, to music and then share it helps a lot of people, myself included, which I think is such a
Correct.
great way to say it. Yeah, he's very open, but still in a way that is universal, which I think is
Yeah.
beautiful. I think that's probably like one thing we really connected with too, I
Mhm.
think, we've both talked about that in the past, but really it's yeah, what you said, like learning how to communicate your own feelings through listening to his music. So it's
Mm.
interesting that he's doing that in the writing process, but it still continues on through the listener. And then we do it
Yeah.
as it extends. Um,
Mm.
I also like Aloe Half-Light said one of my favorite aspects about his of my favorite songs is how grand and cinematic they sound. I think that
Mhm.
kind of relates to what we've said earlier about like his like especially his live versions, like using the
Yeah.
songs that he does, like he really allows it each, a chance to be such a presence in his music. I think that's what lends it to cinematic. If you think of like a movie score, like that's definitely a big aspect of his work. And it's a really fun, he has like a really unique sound, I think, in that sense, where he is like, yeah, really open to letting the instruments take the lead sometimes.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. Like I said earlier, like he's just able to put the right things in the song at the right time, and it's
Yeah.
just a masterpiece. He's
Yeah, it's
literally
like
an
a
artist.
puzzle.
He's an artist.
Yeah. He can see how everything fits together perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Um, yeah. So the next question was, what are your five favorite Raleigh Ritchie songs before Raleigh Ritchie 3? Which is so hard. We've been kind of doing this ourselves, or we've been ranking them
Yeah.
because it's like I have not been keeping track of what I've been saying,
Yeah, I
but
can't remember. So maybe I'm. If I said five right now, I'll probably lie. So
it would change. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I know I'm looking and I see Worries mentioned a lot. I see
Yeah.
Overdose actually mentioned a lot, which I think is kind of underrated.
It is. It is.
Yeah, Big and Scared, which, shout out Chris Loco, you had actually tweeted
Yeah.
about.
It did. Yeah. That was a. I get it. Cause sorry, words. But he said like when they recorded it, he was a mess, and when he listens to it now, he's still the same mess, which is insane. Because I need the raw vocals. Like I actually need to hear it. Oh my god! Imagine being in that studio and he's there doing it for the first time. Like I can't even listen to it now.
Yeah,
I literally, it's not even like a skip because I skip it because I don't like it. It's I literally skip it because I'm like,
it's too heavy. Yeah.
I can't do it. Yeah, it's too real. That was a bit
Yeah.
too real.
In that same interview that he did with Rosie and Chris, they talked about that songwriting
Mm.
a lot, which I thought was interesting. And he was like, it felt like such a safe space that I could explore these things. And then he talked, I think he was like, I went out for a little bit. I was gone for like a few hours and I was just like working on it. And then I came back and I did it. And they were like, are you okay? Like they were all like a little like, what
That's
was that?
insane. Wow.
Which yeah, I'll have to like tweet that or link that Instagram
Please.
Live because it was really interesting to hear him
Yeah.
talking about that and how it was like it just like came out like out of nowhere really. Like
Yeah.
it's
Wow.
beautiful. Yeah,
Beautifully written though. It is a beautiful song. But like I say, it is too real. Like,
it's very
and
real.
obviously, it's kind of it's weird. It's in a way how you interpret it. It's like he's singing it to himself, but then also he's singing it to his kids, and I think it's just like everything about it is just so nice. But
Yeah.
just it's just heartbreaking.
Yeah. I see Love is Dumb also mentioning a lot.
Yeah,
I know for like me, that was one of the first songs I heard. Very fun kind of
yeah,
to I mean it's so impressive because everyone's really doing a good mix of songs from all different
mm,
EPs, like all different albums. There's always like Andy on there, and then there'll be like, Bloodsport. I also want to shout out like his tracks Say What You Mean and Lucky and I'm Not Okay, but I Know I'm Going to Be and like On Fire, which was like a very niche collab him and Chris
it
Loco
is.
did, like F1, I
Mhm.
think, or so yeah, a really good mix. I think for me, it's like Worries and Pressure. I love so much. Um, but I really like Never Better too. And I don't know. It just depends on the day. I love
It just
Lonely Summer.
depends.
Like weirdly, I really like Lonely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's such a good song.
I think Mind the Gap as also as just an EP is severely underrated. I think that's a
One
really
hundred percent.
perfect EP.
Yeah, it was before its time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Wait. Yeah, that's the right. Sorry, I was like, is
Yeah,
that the right
yeah,
word?
yeah. People, it was underrated when it was released, but it's
Yes. Yes.
really good.
I always think about like my top five, but it really does fluctuate like all
Yeah.
the time. But I'd
Yeah.
say Warriors is at the top. I'd say
Yeah, I
Warriors.
love Worries and I love Pressure. And I just love that album. I mean, I love Andy so much,
Yeah.
as we know, but I love how it like starts and ends. Like
Yeah, it's
it like
full circle.
it
Yeah.
segues into yeah, it's good. Good. I love a cohesive sound. So
Yes.
what are your hopes for Raleigh Ritchie this year? Obviously, hope are three. They're wanting it
Yeah.
soon. Um, Stephanie said maybe two music videos. Okay, come on.
Ooh.
Amazing music videos is a common thing.
Yeah. We've had
Merch.
a 10 hour long album. Respectfully, I agree. I, That wasn't me. But...
We're putting on repeat. I agree. I agree. I think this is a very sweet thing. Someone said, I hope I get some words that stick with me and give me hope or simply unlock something within me. That's so lovely. It's
That
like,
is lovely.
I feel like that's a guarantee with Raleigh Ritchie that you can get that.
100%.
A lot of people are wanting tours, wanting live shows. So I relate to that. I mean, I think I've said this. I don't think we'd get any this year, but maybe, one show in 2026, maybe another like London show. I don't know. US is so hard. He's just like, he's a busy guy and he's got kids. Like, it's hard to tour, but, one
maybe.
show would be great.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be a big tour if he did do one. Like it will be. I do assume it'll be next year, but if he did do one, I think it'll just be like a few shows here and there.
In the UK.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know if he crossed the sea.
Save up, I guess. You're gonna have to save up, guys.
I'll fly over. I don't guarantee. Yeah.
Stay with
That would
me.
be crazy. The fact that it's like not even a question for me too. I'm like, yeah.
Literally, flight's already booked. It's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
There's also just the hope that he'll be more exposed, more people will find his music, which I think is always, I think that's another thing that makes this one so exciting is, we have the fandom's just grown so much and it'll be getting new music with him. If he's promoting it as much as we hope he does, that could be cool too, to really, I mean, let's get him on Saturday night. Let's get him singing live. Come on, let's get him on stage.
I agree.
Let's get him booked.
Yeah, we need some live show. I feel like we need live performances. Maybe not live shows, but like just the odd like talk show every so, you know what I mean? Just every so often. You can do that.
Yes. Or like like a tiny desk concert. He would kill at that. He'd be so good at a desk concert.
Need that. Now give it.
Who do we have to talk to?
Literally, who do we have to talk to get a tiny desk? You can have it in my house. Literally, this is a tiny desk. Come on. Do it for free.
We said if there's something you could say right now to Raleigh Ritchie, what would it be? Just keep being you and never stop injecting your music with your honesty. Thank you for being so open and honest with your art. And thank you for helping create such a safe and wonderful community. I think that's really sweet. I think the Raleigh Ritchie fandom has been especially with the radio, like not to pat ourselves on the back, but I do feel like it's been really nice to have a space for fans specifically. And we have the community on Twitter that we've not been using as much, but I do feel like it's nice to feel like, and you went to the concert, so you can speak on this too, but really like everyone, just good vibes all around, really, which is a testament to him as a musician, he's positive, so.
Yeah, no, definitely, because obviously I've been a fan for a while, but I've never really felt a part of his fandom until like the end of last year, like after the concert, if I'm being completely honest. It's just like I've kind of just been sat there like, on my own. Do you know how it is?
Yeah,
like,
I think there's been like a mobilization to the fans that there hasn't been before. I mean, I'm like not even a year old, but I do feel like there's been more people kind of speaking about their love for his music and like in a community, right? Like it's been much more communal. I think, you've been a big part of that too by doing like on your personal, you do threads and stuff too that really helps allow people to share out. And I think that's a big part of it. And I think
you exist.
But I think too that there's been more like, and hopefully this podcast has helped with this, but just like more understanding of this side of his career for people who are just acting fans, hopefully they've been able to dive into his music a little bit more deeper and consider themselves, not just Jacob or Interview with the Vampire fans, but really Raleigh Ritchie fans. And I think that was, we talked about those before we started recording, but that was something we kind of wanted to get from this too, of like understanding this part of his career since he's not been like active in it, since a lot of fans have maybe joined. I think that's part of maybe why it feels like disconnected. But I think lately there's been a lot of bridging of those connections. And I think that's what makes Raleigh Ritchie 3 so exciting is it's like we've really like the fandom's really mobilized. There's really a deep understanding and an admiration for him now. And it's just gonna like now they're all ready to go and like support this music.
I'm happy for him. I'm so happy for him.
I think a lot of them are just you're such an inspiration. Some fans are newer, but it still just clicks with them. Really appreciate his vulnerability,
Mhm.
And he's changed so many people's lives because of it. There's a big yeah, I think a big connection with that and with mental health journeys and just I think that's what's so lovely about musicians too, is it's not just finding connection through the music, but also again like within other fans, which is so lovely.
Mhm. Yeah. No, fandoms are really important, especially like to building the artist, I guess. Not building, but you know what I mean.
Mhm.
Like just creating that space for people to talk about your music is really important. And that's what he's done. So it's really nice.
I feel like you and I are always just like we need to like shove his face and be like,
Yeah.
look at the impact you've had because he's
Literally, I don't think he doesn't get it. I don't think he ever
yeah,
will.
there's so many quotes, at least from when he first started, where he was like, I hope I can do that. And it's like, you are doing that. You've done it. You've saved lives. Like you've made such an impact.
Literally. You
And
don't
it's
get
not
it.
just one person, it's so many people who feel this way,
Yeah,
clearly, as we've seen on the thread. So
exactly. Yeah. If
very
you if he watched this, I don't know if he will. He probably won't. But anyway,
he
if
said
you
no.
do, we've got a whole thread of people saying nice things about you. So
Yeah.
please read it. Please take it in.
Which is
Please.
funny too, I guess, like even him saying like I can't, I'm too shy, which is also like such a testament of like maybe that's why he doesn't realize it, is he's too shy to look at what people are saying. But it's all positive, it's all good. And we're not just saying that because we, are fans. It's actually just it's very nice. It's very sweet.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
So,
We also asked what questions you would like to ask us, if there was any. Callie asked favorite Raleigh Ritchie clip/video. Well, I
maybe yeah.
honestly have not watched all of his music videos intentionally
Oh,
because I'm saving it for the podcast. So
yeah.
I
So
think,
okay, what's your favorite one we've watched so far?
well, I'm actually not going to answer that question. No,
Oh,
I will answer
damn.
that, but I do want to say I have seen the Aristocrats music video and I love it. I think it's so
So good.
smart. It's so clever. I think he
Mhm.
directed it. He's such a talented director. I think
Yeah.
I love Aristocrats, but I also really like the ones that we've watched. I mean, we just did Never Better, and I thought that was very fun. I think he's
Mhm.
just like I love a story being told in a music video,
Mm.
and
He's really good at that.
yeah, he's really good at that. I do really love that quick
Probably.
moment in Stronger Than Ever too, though, when you can see like what's actually happening. It's like a split second.
Yeah.
We talked
It's
about.
so
I think that's
clever.
really
So
clever.
clever.
Yeah. What about you? I mean, out of everything and out of what we've watched, you can do both.
Ooh. I'd say The Greatest is a good one.
It's fun.
I'd say Stronger Than Ever is a good one. I'd say
Which we still are like, how did you do this? Like, we're still like,
literally,
how did you film
please.
this?
Please, it's so good. Aristocrats, like you said.
Yeah.
Straight Jacket, I do like Straight Jacket as well because it's so like bare minimum. Well, it's not
Oh
bare
yeah,
minimum.
it's like his face, right? That's the one
Yeah,
with
it's
the
literally just
him.
him
Yeah,
walking. Yeah, I
it's
love
really
that.
good.
Yeah.
God, his music videos are so dark sometimes.
Right? Oh my
Maybe that's why
God.
I like Never Better, because it's kind of sweet.
Yeah, it's a happy one. Yeah.
Do you have like a clip? I think I'm just thinking of like interviews, I guess, or like funny moments of him or something. I'm trying to. I mean, I love he did like the Genius lyric breakdown, and he's just
Yeah.
adorable in it, but he's very sweet at the end, being like, which is what I keep talking about it, but he's like, my music is my community and town, and it's like my
Wow.
wife and my friends, and it's you guys. I think that's very sweet.
Mhm.
Um,
I
I'm
mean,
trying to be like Riley Ritchie specific because I also just think him like shaking his head
yeah.
no during that Game of Thrones. He was like the funnious thing ever, but that's
I was low key, I mean, it's quite different, but have you watched the chicken shop date when he does the
yeah.
walrus? I was just going to say that because I thought it was quite funny, but that's like not as deep, so.
Yeah, the chicken shop date's quite fun too.
It
So,
is,
which
yeah.
let's bring him back. Let's get him on chicken shop date.
Oh,
Yeah,
please,
yeah.
please. So
Yeah.
much stuff,
I love
right?
like there's several interviews. Any interview where he's eating, I think is so funny. And he has Chicken Shop Date. He has that one like where he had like the
Oh,
hamburger
yeah.
pizza, which he looks beautiful
Big,
in. And then he
right.
just had the one before Live from the O2 where the guy like cooked for him. So there's like
Yeah, big
the fact
two.
that there's
Oh,
several
yeah.
interviews of Jacob being like, no, we gotta eat if we're gonna do
Yeah.
this.
I like that idea. We need to find other people to make him eat because
Yeah.
they're the best ones.
They're very fun. And the
They
food looks
are.
great. So
It does.
um What is your favorite Raleigh Ritchie live performance? Ooh, that's a great question.
That is a great question.
Live from the O2, I love so much because he's
So
doing
good.
really fun runs in it. Like he's really kind of
Yeah.
changing his vocal inflection, and I think it's
Yeah.
fun. We do have like a clip. This is illegal, so if you're part of his team, close your ears. I mean,
Oh.
not illegal, but you know, we have the videos. We have the full. Somebody uploaded the full performance on like.
Yeah. Wasn't honest.
So we've been able to watch all of it, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I think the ones that like shut the fuck up when he screams it at the end. That's so fun. Like,
No, that is a
but
good
I also
one.
like release all of those on
Please,
because they're
please.
so good.
Right? Yeah, I feel like we need to see the whole thing. That whole thing needs to be re-uploaded in some way.
Yeah,
Yeah. Or we just need like a live album of it. I know
yeah,
we've got a few other songs, but like,
yeah. I know, but I'm like, just give us all of it. You don't
yeah,
because like
they're
pressures,
there.
and I think he does, and
Pressure was a good,
Rory,
yeah,
like he does some from Andy that it's like, oh well, we
yeah,
get to hear these, and
yeah.
especially now, you know, like there's just some on there that he's really or really just a vibe. I really just like what he's doing. He also has a performance that he did for Billboard and he's like sick during it. I think that's kind of fun. His voice is really gruffy. And he's covered songs before in the past too, which
Yeah.
is cool
Mm.
to see
Yeah, I
him.
like his live lounge performances. They're good.
Yes, yes, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many live performances that he's on, which are too good.
Yeah,
Oh,
I know I've definitely sent you some there where I'm like, can you post this clip? Because I really like this
you,
performance and I want to be
you
able to
please
watch
play
it.
for us.
Yeah, like I really like this one.
I just read
Some,
one of them.
how do you do it all? That's funny. Well,
This is the right thing.
we've been slacking. We haven't been recording.
Yeah, we apologize. We're
So we're
busy.
back. I do think we're both both really enjoy doing these kind of episodes where we kind of just talk about like updates and things. It's fun for us to,
Mm,
but
it's
I
so
think
fun.
also we just know a lot about Riley Ritchie, so it's like let's talk about something that we love. Like it's not hard to.
Yeah,
We
we just
always
have
have fun
fun.
when we record an episode.
Yeah. It is fun. It's like nice to talk about it. I feel
Yeah.
like sometimes we just, you know, like in just day-to-day life, we can't talk about him like 24/7. So it's a nice like few hours just getting it all out of our system.
Yeah,
For
it's
real.
literally that. It's just you and me talking and hanging out, and then we
Yeah.
record it too, which is fun.
Yeah.
I do think, like, I don't know if they're wondering about Twitter, like running the fan accounts and
Ah,
stuff. I mean, I think this is fascinating, so I'm going to talk about it if people don't.
please.
I don't know,
Yeah.
how do you like, we've talked a
I
bit about like
yeah.
running out of clips for you. Like
Yeah.
that's been,
I'm struggling here, bestie, but
yeah,
no, I just someday I'll just be like, oh, I like this song today.
yeah,
I can decide what I get posted.
yeah.
So yeah, I'm just like, to be fair, just or sometimes like it'll come on YouTube and I'm like, oh, the girls will like this one. I'll
Mhm.
post this one. So it's just like that sort of vibe. But
Yeah.
you,
Well, I also think, I mean, not, no, one more thing with you is I do think like there's live performances that like I haven't seen that you posted.
mm,
I'm like, oh, this is really cool or really fun, you know, that. So
mm,
it's also a way like sometimes it's not easy to find those, like stuff that's not just
yeah,
uploaded on his channel, but other channels have uploaded or things
yeah,
done. So it's nice that it's all like in one space for someone to be able to check out and listen to or stream without like you're kind of taking away that layer of work for them. Like they might not have sought it out
yeah,
otherwise. Then it's like, oh, this is cool. You know, I think that's an underrated
yeah.
part of it too.
Thanks.
Yeah. I feel like lately I've been way more focused on like updates than just like sharing things, which she's been a little bit busier. So I guess maybe that's why. But I don't know, it really stresses me out. That's why I hate the idea of missing something. So I have to just
Yeah,
constantly be
no
on
sleep.
oh yeah. But I'm kind of the same way where it's like if there's like a photo of Jacob that I really like or a video that I find really fun, then I just post it for my own selfish reasons. I
Yeah.
think it just kind of like there's always something that comes up in the day that
Mm,
it's like, oh, this is nice. And I do like have a ton of drafts. So I have like things ready if I like decide like I have like backup plans, you know, but then if something comes up, I don't worry about it. But
yeah.
I think also like for me it's been fun to discover like I started the account so I could discover him myself. Like I have like a Raleigh
Mm,
Ritchie, like an introduction to Raleigh Ritchie thread that I did back in July. And I did it like for myself. So I could like hold myself accountable to be like, what did he do in his career? And like I mapped it out same time I was mapping it out for everyone else, I guess. And now I'm like, it's
Oh,
probably outdated. Like I probably could do it better now. But
yeah.
same with like his filmography. Like if I post like a scene compilation, it's like, well, I'm watching the movie for the first time too. Like it's just
Mhm.
a way for me to exert my own like relationship with him, like through an
Yeah.
outlet. Like so now instead of just me doing it, I'm just like doing it for other people. But I was gonna do it anyways, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So
I
it's
like
not like
that.
hard to
Yeah. I feel like we're doing it for ourselves as well as other people, which it makes
yeah.
it more enjoyable. It does make it more
Yeah.
enjoyable. It's like,
Exactly. I think as soon as we
yeah,
lose that, it's like goodbye. Like
yeah, literally. It's like,
deactivate one day. Like,
we're
sorry.
never going to say goodbye, don't worry. But like, yeah, I feel like it's more just because we enjoy doing it. It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
not,
If you
it's
don't
not a
enjoy doing
chore.
it, it's there's no
Yeah, don't do it if you don't enjoy.
yeah, it's fun to yeah, it's like a hyperfixation, like to read about and to
Yeah.
connect with it. And then you're just having a third, like a party to express it on then. And it's fun to connect with
Mhm.
other people through it too. So I guess.
Correct.
What are
Um,
your top five favorite movies? That's a
I feel like this is
you
more
know,
for you, right?
well,
I
you
do
still have
watch
to do
movies.
it. This is for both
I
of
do
us.
watch movies, but mine aren't going to be as serious as yours.
Mine's like mission, it's like all the Mission Impossibles or something. I don't know.
Oh no, no.
I
Oh,
just saw
sorry,
them.
wait, no offense. I never watched them, but no
Oh,
offense. Oh,
no, it's fine. They're long. I
oh.
get it. There's a lot of movies to get caught up on. My top four on my letterbox is
Okay.
Phantom Thread with Daniel Day-Lewis,
Yeah.
Queer with Daniel Craig, The Beaches of Agnes, which is an Agnes Varda documentary. Jacob Anderson, famously an Agnes Varda fan, discovered this year, and I said, "Well, actually, I'm the number one Agnes Varda fan, so get behind me, sir." And then I have another Luca Guadagnino. I have Bones and All up there. I unfortunately am a huge Timothy Chalamet fan, so like he's got to be on my list in some shape or
Yeah.
form. Sometimes that switches to Wonka because I really like Wonka. I think it's cute.
Okay.
I'm also a big fan of like Avatar, the Avatar movies.
Okay.
I love those blue people, and I really like Christopher Nolan films too. I'm sorry to say, I love Oppenheimer. I love Dune. I'm looking at my favorites of all times list. I feel like the fifth one could be whatever I'm like in the mood of at the time.
Yeah.
You know, it just depends on that
Mhm.
one could switch around. So right now I'm really into the Mission Impossible movies.
Wow. Okay,
Yeah.
I might have to watch it. I'll watch it.
I will say, if you follow my main Twitter, I've been really into Lewis Pullman lately, and he's in a movie called Skincare, and I really like that movie. So maybe that's my fifth. Um,
Cute.
what would you name if you had to name any? Surely you could do some. You have a favorite movie?
My, well, the one that like I've been watching, like I can tell you the whole script right now if you want to know it, is Coraline.
Oh yeah, that's a great
Okay.
pick.
And then my recent hyperfixation is Shrek 2. And I feel like I'm so unserious right now. But I
Shrek
watched
2, very specific. I mean, that's the one with the dad, and he turns into a frog at the end. Fiona's dad,
The Fairy
the,
Godmother.
the fairy
Yeah,
godmother.
yeah.
That's a great movie. You're
It's the
right.
best one, yeah. I do like animation, but I did watch Sinners for the first time yesterday.
Oh yeah.
Changed my life.
Yeah.
I loved
Beautiful.
it.
Again, a great music sequence in that
Like,
film.
literally, that's what got me, I think. I was just listening to it,
Yeah.
I was like, wow, this is
Oh, well,
like,
there's the music alone too. I listen to the soundtrack. It's great. Yeah.
right? Mm, I love a good musical as well.
Oh,
So,
fun.
like, Little Shop of Horrors vibe.
Ooh, okay. I've been getting a ton of like Death Becomes Her, which they're just doing as a musical adaptation on Broadway.
Oh,
A
okay.
bit on my timeline. It looks very fun.
Ooh.
I don't think
Yeah,
I'm a big musical person, but
no, I get that. I feel like you either like it or hate, like love it or hate
you
it.
love
It's
music, so it makes sense to me. You love
so,
Hamilton, right? You're a big Hamilton girl. Yeah,
I didn't want to
yeah,
mention it,
yeah.
but yeah,
Yeah.
I
Do
do
you
love
fuck
Hamilton.
with Lin-Manuel Miranda outside of Hamilton? Like, are you like Moana? Like, are you sat for his other music?
I've never watched Moana, I'm not gonna
Oh,
lie.
well, that's
Well,
okay.
nothing against any of it, but I just haven't watched it. It's just not
Yeah,
for me.
yeah, 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 yeah.
But I think he's so like lyrically,
Yeah,
what a guy, what
yeah.
a guy.
I think I know there was kind of like a Lin-Manuel like hate campaign. Like, I think
Right?
people were like, he was everywhere and they were getting fed up. But I was like,
Yeah.
when you're that
There's a
talented,
reason. Literally,
there's a
there's a
reason.
reason
Like,
why.
and I think he seems like a really nice guy. So,
Yeah. And he loves me. I feel like if you love the art that you produce,
Yeah.
you're not being forced into it. Like, I think
They're
everyone
different.
should love it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, have you seen
Yeah.
the photo of him with Jacob, with Riley Ritchie?
Yeah. Editing, editor.
Oh, we just need to tweet it, no context. I
Literally.
love whenever there's always some people who haven't seen it, and whenever we post it, they're like, "Oh, it's so."
No, yeah, I'm not. I do love films. I'm not gonna lie, but like, I just stick to the ones that I literally watch all the time. I can't lie. I'm just a girl. I'm just a girl.
I'll focus on the movies, you focus on the music, and there we go.
There we go.
There we go.
Oh, I've got another
Podcast.
one. I have another one. Wait, this is
Okay.
important. This is actually one of my favorite films.
Okay.
Amazing Spider-Man 2. And it has,
Andrew Garfield?
yeah, and
Okay.
and the soundtrack.
Is that the one
unreal.
where Emma Stone dies?
Spoiler alert.
Okay, spoiler. You know what? I used to be very obsessed with that movie as well, and I loved the actor who plays like the Green Goblin, like Dane Dehon, I think is his name. I had the
I
biggest
used to love it. Me too.
yeah.
Me too. Yeah. I
So
get
shout out Dane Dehon.
Yeah.
For your
Thank you.
service.
Thank you. Yeah. Also, thank you, Jamie Foxx, for the Electro, because
Yeah.
I
God,
got posters. We love
he
that.
was in the Marvel one. He was brought back, and
He
right?
was.
But where
He
was
was.
Dane Dehon? Was he busy?
Is he not dead? Oh wait, they're all dead.
Oh,
Wait,
did he die in the movie? That's why
no, but they're all dead. Wait, they all died,
we
right?
need to investigate this.
Yeah. Anyway, back to Raleigh Ritchie. Anyway.
That was important. They also asked, how do we feel about mint and chocolate chip ice cream? Which is funny because I literally just had some like 2 weeks ago. Love
That's
it.
great.
I don't mind.
Oh, I love mint chocolate ice cream.
Yeah.
Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mint chocolate chip. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's good. No beef.
Great.
Somebody also just said, really appreciate you. You created such a safe and fun space. I'm looking forward to hearing everything you want to share about Riley Ritchie. Thank you. Very sweet. Very
Oh.
sweet.
So sweet.
It's like I said, it's just fun for us to get to do it too.
Yes.
Which artist do you see Riley Ritchie collabing with? You are so good at this. You have a great thread about ones that you would like to collab with. This is where like you know music, right? So it's like you could pop off with. We've said Ray before, we've said Little Sims before.
Yeah,
Behind that, but you have some really niche recommendations, I feel like, of artists.
I just think so that one of the best I don't know, I'd say composer to be fair, just musicians, is a British singer called Jacob Collier. And I just think he's incredible. I need a Jacob squared performance, please. Thank you very much. I also need a Rizzle Kicks one. That's just for myself. Like, just you could just send it to me, that's fine. Who else do I need?
There was is there not like a duo? I was thinking there was
Yeah. Rizzle
is that
Kicks.
Rizzle Kicks?
them.
Okay, got you.
So like they're just like cheeky boys, and that sounds so weird. They're just really cheeky, like really. They're good with their words as well. I like that. I think if you're good with your words, like Little Sims is as well. Lots of wordplay. Dave, he's a rapper. He's really good. What about you? Have you got any?
Well, we did. I like kind of low-key lost the file. Like I need to look better for it. But we did react to like what they did for like I think The Greatest, where it was like several rappers who did. I gotta find the file because that was like the first time both of us listened to it and we were both like gagged by it. But I don't it wasn't a collab, but it was like them doing like a remix all over a Riley Ritchie song. And I think that's just like fun. Like I kind of like seeing it's kind of like good promotion for his music too. So I kind of would love if there was like something like
a remix of it.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. But I think I think I really like female voices. It's just like I think that's what like I don't really need like a rap verse. I really just like a good chorus. I love the Shut the Fuck Up duet. I think it's beautiful. So I think just like I don't know, like and I kind of like the like soft serenading type, like Kali Uchis type voice a little bit. So I'm like vibe. But yeah, I think I would really like a nice melodic female singer on a track.
There's one called Cleo Soul, who's a British, I'm sure she's British, maybe not, maybe I'm gaslighting, singer, and she's got a beautiful voice. And she always does songs with like Little Sims and stuff. Oh, she's so good. I love that. Yeah, maybe we want a female vocalist.
You're so good. You know your music so well. I love
All
it.
I do, like, You're the film. You're the
Yeah,
film.
you're so good at finding like artists who I'm like, who? Like I don't know these guys.
I'm just, you know what's good? You know when it does like the songs you may like or recommended
Oh
songs.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah. You just dab into it. Yeah,
if I like it, I like it. If I don't, I don't. I'm not
I
gonna.
will also say I think it would be fun to have I know he said he would not do one, but I would love a musical. And he doesn't even have to do a musical movie. I want him on stage doing a musical.
Yeah,
And I'm like, Lin-Manuel Miranda, get him on the phone. Let's get Jacob, or as like an animated character voice, Lin-Manuel Miranda, get Riley Ritchie on the
I'm
phone.
listening. I'm
I think he
listening.
would be so good. I
He
think
would.
he would be like, he's so good at like he's so positive, right? Like he's good at like
Mm,
childhood wonder. Like I think he would be a good
yeah,
person to voice like a Disney character, and then he could do both for
100%.
it, and then he could like go sing in front of the castle. Like, come on,
Oh,
it'd be so good.
please. Oh, that'd be so good. I like that idea.
I would like to see that. See that
Yeah,
happening. And he's done
please.
voice work, so it's not he could do it.
Hmm.
That would be fun. If you could interview Jacob, what would be the perfect sitting or setting? And would you only focus on the music aspect, or would you like to do like sections? Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think we would both, you would obviously want to talk music. That would be your
Oh,
big, because you
yeah.
you know a lot about music too. And
I
I
just
think
like hearing people talk about it, to be fair.
yeah,
I
their
just,
journey, their story.
yeah, I just find it so
I
interesting.
think the idea of it stresses me out so much. This is gonna sound so awful because it's like I think I know a lot about him to the point where I'd be like, I don't know what to ask you. Like I already know how you would answer this, which just sounds so awful. I
No.
would be like, yeah, I don't. I'd be like, hey.
Mhm.
So I think I do think like inspirations. Like
Mhm.
I would always like to know like who are you listening to? Like who
Yeah.
inspires you musically, creatively? Like what movies are you watching? What performers are you watching? I think that's fascinating. And I know he's a very creative person, so like, that would be fun.
Mm.
I think it would make sense. And then like we talked about like I feel like in my like a lot of the interviews that he's given has always been about like how do you balance music and acting, and then he's talked about his journey. So those are the areas that I wouldn't want to like know more,
Yeah.
I guess. I think it would be much more like 2020 to now, Jacob. We've not really heard him talk about music as much. So I think like that
Mhm.
path with music would be interesting, and like just like growing up, growing older, and
Yeah.
that asking about his directing and like and behind the camera interest, I guess would be fun to hear him talk
Yeah.
about, and like how you come up with concepts and
Where do you start with songs? Like, how do you come up with songs? Is it different for each song? Like, there's questions that I don't think people ask, but I feel like as a fan, you want to ask different sort of questions, don't you? I suppose so. I feel like it might be a revolving around music, but it might not all be about music. It might be more just caring about him, if that makes sense.
right. And I think like that's like because his music is so personal and vulnerable, it's very easy to be like, I want to kind of like dissect this story and
Mm.
how you arrive to a point where you can write something like Big and Scared and how it you process it. And I think it'd be really fun to also, yeah, like have all of those collaborators, like Chris, Loco, and all of the like spotlighting the other musicians that he works with and their
Yes.
role in crafting Raleigh Ritchie, because it's not just Jacob, it is like a team.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yes. And it's like, do they like ever pitch anything to him? I don't know if they like go, right, I've come up with this sound. Do you think you've got anything to go with it? Or is it like he writes something first, then he sends it to you, you go and do that? There's a
yeah,
lot.
yeah,
I feel
yeah.
like it's really complex with how he comes up with songs. So I do feel like he's an interesting person to talk about an interesting person to talk to about the process of how he comes from A to B. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
I also low key want to know what his top five of his songs are. Like, I wonder if he's got a favorite song. Because
Yeah.
does he ever like? I
Yeah,
don't
the
know.
same questions that we asked today,
Yeah,
it's like I would want to ask him.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Deep, I like it.
Cool. Well, I think on that note,
Yeah.
that's mainly everything. We will be
Yes.
back with Your Man Now Boy. We're kind of thinking, I think we'll probably have maybe two full Your Man Now Boy episodes and then one
Yeah.
mini Your Man Now Boy episode, and then
Mhm.
we'll transition into another EP, which will Mind the Gap, I think. Um, yeah, you're
No,
looking.
I'm not sure.
I think it's Mind the Gap.
Yeah. Yes.
We'll transition into something.
Yeah.
And then just keep updating you with like Raleigh Ritchie news as it comes out because that's very fun. And also like anytime you guys have questions, I think it's fun for us to answer those and to hear from you
Yeah.
guys about, you know, if you have theories or things that you would like. I feel like we do read a lot of Raleigh Ritchie interviews and like if you have a question like about his process or something that you're like, oh, I'd be curious, like how did he come up with this or something? We'd be happy to look into it for you. We're your Raleigh Ritchie researchers. So let us know and we'll, you know,
Please.
we'll
Yeah.
dive into it.
Love hearing everything from you guys, whether it's
Yeah,
just comments on the video or like tweeting us about anything. We love it. So keep
yeah,
them
it's very
coming.
fun to engage. So, well, thank you guys and happy birthday, Raleigh Ritchie, Jacob Anderson.
Yes. Happy birthday,
I
bestie.
will plug at this point it won't be done yet, but we are doing a fundraiser for Jacob's birthday as well. There is a link in the bio. We're fundraising for Place to Be, which is a youth mental health services provider in the UK. Jacob's worked with them for several years now. He's spoken a lot about how he feels like his life would have been impacted by the services and wishing that he had it, and has been supportive of the work that they do in UK schools. I know, Alesha, you've talked that it's services that are really lacking. It really is
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
support. And he's an ambassador for them. So far, our goal was to raise $500, and we've raised like 642, actually pounds, I should say, not dollars. But I am encouraging people to keep donating if they can. I think it would be awesome if we could reach like $800. I'm planning on matching. I'm planning on donating again to help get us over the hurdle. But the closer we can get, the better. So I hope you'll consider donating to that for his birthday. And then we have some other activities planned. I think we'll probably do like a listening party,
Oh,
maybe some threads, some edits. So be engaged with that.
yes.
And wish him a happy birthday when it's on June 18th. And hopefully we'll get some Raleigh Ritchie 3 news soon. And yeah, we'll keep going. But thank you guys so much for listening.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.